The millionaire extended an invitation to the black cleaning lady as a cruel joke. When she arrived like royalty, the entire room froze in disbelief after discovering who she truly was. The grand hall of the Blackwood estate in Beverly Hills erupted, with vicious laughter as Victoria descended the marble staircase, draped in a gown worth more than most guests earned in a year. This wasn't admiration, it was deliberate ridicule. "Well, look who decided to make an appearance," Richard Blackwood murmured smugly, lifting his glass of Dom Perignon. His guests snickered in agreement. Victoria was 35 years, old, and never once imagined she'd stand in that ballroom as an invited guest, even if the invitation itself was meant to humiliate her. For 2 long years, she had scrubbed every corner of that mansion, silent, overlooked, treated less like a person and more like decor, while the wealthy exchanged fake smiles above her head. The invitation had arrived 3 days earlier, delivered. With a smirk she recognized instantly. "Charity gala on Saturday," Richard said, handing her a gold-embossed envelope. "Maximum elegance. I'm sure you own something appropriate, don't you?" His friends laughed openly. It was an obvious setup, public humiliation dressed as generosity. Richard had even invited social reporters to capture what he called an educational experience. "Let's make it interesting," Richard said to his wife Helena while Victoria vacuumed nearby. 100,000 says she doesn't show. And if she does, she'll be the evening's entertainment. Helena laughed coldly. If she comes at all, she'll probably flee in 15 minutes. What Richard didn't know were 2 essential truths. First, Victoria had grown up in rooms like this long before she was forced to clean them to survive. Second, some storms don't destroy you. They teach you how to stand tall in the rains. She crossed the hall beneath mocking stares. Victoria's posture remained flawless, her gaze steady, like someone carrying truths powerful enough to shatter worlds. Every step was deliberate, practiced, as if she had rehearsed this moment for years. "She actually came," whispered Patricia Weston, a senator's wife. "And that dress, where did she even get it?" "Probably rented," sneered Vivian. Chambers, masking her insecurity with cruelty. What none of them knew was that Victoria hadn't rented, borrowed, or bought that dress. She had reclaimed it from her past, a past Richard would have buried forever if he'd known it existed. Richard strode toward her, chest puffed with confidence, flanked by billionaires. He was in control. This was his stage. "Victoria, what a surprise. I always knew you'd show up. After all, when someone like you gets an invitation like this, someone like me?" Victoria repeated calmly, her voice slicing the air. "Go on, Richard. Finish that thought." For a fraction of a second, doubt flickered across his face. Her tone didn't match the submissive cleaner he remembered, but arrogance reclaimed him. "Well, someone not used to this environment. All this elegance must be intimidating." Victoria smiled, not nervously but serenely, a smile that made nearby laughter die instantly. "Intimidated?" she echoed softly, locking eyes with him. "No, Richard, I feel exactly where I belong." The room shifted. Richard cleared his throat. "Well, enjoy the evening. I'm sure it'll be educational." "Oh, it will be," Victoria replied, slowly surveying the guests. "For all of us." What they didn't realize was that Victoria carried a secret powerful enough to transform this night of mockery into Beverly Hills' most unforgettable lesson. Richard clinked his glass loudly. "Everyone, allow me to introduce our special guest, Victoria, our devoted cleaning lady." Cruel laughter rolled through the hall. Phones flashed. Social media captions were drafted in real time. Helena leaned closer. "Richard, isn't this a bit much?" "Cruel?" he scoffed. "I'm giving her the opportunity of a lifetime." Victoria stood motionless, calm, unshaken. Patricia approached with venom in her smile. "Tell me, dear, how long did it take to find that dress?" "It has history," Victoria replied evenly. Vivian laughed. From a thrift shop? My mother wore this dress the last time she stood in a ballroom like this, Victoria said. 20 years ago, when she was still Isabella Temp's Blackwood. Silence crashed down. Richard turned pale. What did you say? Temp's Blackwood, Victoria repeated. Funny how some people erase inconvenient relatives. You're lying, Richard stammered. Victoria stepped closer. I'm your half-sister. Gasps exploded across the room. Henry Blackwood had an affair with Victoria's mother, his children's piano teacher. When she became pregnant, he promised support. Richard erased them after his father's death, cut them off, sold their home, left them in poverty. Victoria produced the Blackwood family ring. You can't steal what's yours by birthright, Richard shook. Prove it. Victoria smiled. I came prepared. She signaled the entrance, an investigative journalist, an inheritance attorney, and the family doctor. Dr. Hamilton confessed Henry Blackwood was poisoned. Diane Morrison presented recordings, bank transfers, threats, evidence piled high as Richard's empire collapsed in real time. Victoria had planned everything, 2 years as a cleaner, 2 decades of patience. Justice unfolded publicly. Richard was arrested, assets seized, a new will enforced. Victoria inherited what was stolen and rebuilt everything differently. 6 months later, she sat in the same office, now transformed. Employees were respected, profits soared, scholarships funded, dignity restored. Richard sat in prison, sentenced to 25 years. When asked if it was revenge, Victoria answered simply, revenge would have been becoming him. Justice is ensuring no one suffers the way I did. Richard tried to humiliate a cleaning lady. Instead, he discovered that dignity, truth, and patience are the most dangerous forces in any room, and sometimes the person everyone ignores is the one who changes everything.